Thank you, FIIO. Thank you. Fucking finally killing the E10K. So here's the deal. The FIIO E10K was my personal first DAC amp. It was $89. And that was what, 7 years? A long time ago. Long time ago. And I had, it wasn't even the K, it was the E10 I had. And then I think I had the K. Things are happening. Well, we're going to get to why there's things happening. So, what's the time? It's 2019. This actually came out in 2018, but the video is being recorded like near the end, so I'm assuming it's 2019. And it's about fucking time, FIIO. This is the K3. And this is the Q1 Mark II. And anyone who knows me, if you've ever been on this channel before, if you've never been on this channel before, let me tell you my religion. It's the FIIO Q1 Mark II, alright? This is a portable amp, DAC, plug-in USB, bass boost, high-low gain. You get line input, you get headphone output, you get balanced motherfucking output. Turn it on, little blue light, does DSD, great. I've been recommending this to people for, a year? Has it been over a year? Who's here listening? It's been over a year? And my only complaint is it doesn't really work on a desk, because it's like, how do you desk this? Because it's $100. Well, I don't know what took FIIO so fucking long to say, hey, let's take the capabilities of that, add some more to it, and replace the FIIO E10K. And here it is. Isn't it beautiful? So, this is the K3. I just want to show you a thing. Hold on, I'm going to do the other thing. Ready? Now, literally everything that can be plugged into it is plugged into it. 4 wires in the back, 2 wires in the front. The thing is the size of my palm. And you know what else we got? We got 2 switches, 1 switch, and then a knob. There's just so much packed into this thing. It's like the most fun. It's like one of those fidget spinners, but useful. And probably cheaper than some of the really, really expensive ones. Unplugging the front. We get balanced output. I kind of wish these were gold. I feel like the gold look of these on the Q1 really sort of stuck out to me, like, oh shit, and they just didn't. So, I'll let it slide this time. You got a bass boost, which is off and on. Can I please praise the bass boost now? Is now the time? Is now when I can do that? Great. It just adds a lovely warmth to the low end. Bass boosts are very, very touchy. Some companies know how to implement one, and some companies suck. And FIIO used to suck. You used to flip the bass boost switch and it would go from like music to and they've gotten over that. It's actually pretty damn good in this. I think it's even better in the K3. As far as just warming it up. I mean, I'm using the Lauras right here, which are the new Brainwaves planars. And they're not exactly like a cold and dark set. But you put on that bass boost and it's like, yeah, you know what? I could live with this. A good bass boost makes me hate myself because I'm like, I kind of want to put it on, and I'm like, it's got to be flat and level and neutral. I want to hear the head. No, but I kind of want to leave it on. So bravo, FIIO, for that. The gain switch, it literally is just low and high gain, and it acts like a low and high gain, and I don't have any problems with it, and I don't have anything special to say. It isn't like the AUN, like the S7, the big $500 amp, where you put it on low and then you put the volume to maximum and it's still not loud enough, and you put it on high and you can't even like move it off the bottom or it's too loud. So it's a good quality low high, although this isn't the most powerful DAC amp, but you certainly can push. It's $110, and it's going to take a big steaming Chinese powered dump on the shit full of 2, which is funny because that's called the shit. And I'm going to look at my absolute favorite thing in the whole world, the Mica Origin G2. I'm going to look at you, and I'm going to say, I still love you, baby. I still love you. And I'm going to talk back about this. So, if we explore the front, the power switch to turn it on and off is the knob. You click it, you go all the way down, and it goes click. I'm not going to do that because I'm hooked up USB to this computer. Wallpaper available in the description. And if you click it off, it disappears. And that was, I think, a problem. The Mica does that. A bunch of them do that. And that's either good or bad. Because if it's the only sound device on your computer, you kind of want it to just be there all the time. And that's why when you get like a separate DAC and you just plug it in, like if you get old DAC, you can just leave those on. DACs basically don't draw any power. They don't use too much energy. And some of them, even when you shut them off, are USB powered. Which means, you know, you literally can't shut them off. It's just on. And your computer always knows that there's a sound device. But this, you go click and it disappears. So FooBar literally goes, fuck! So I'm not going to click it off. If I clicked it off, the blue LED would go away. And you could see the blue. And it isn't always blue. Isn't always blue. Depending on if you're running fucking DSD out of this. Nothing wrong with DSD. If I can't replace 20,000 songs that are already in my library tomorrow with DSD, I'm not really interested. But this will change color. I've seen it become red, and I've seen it become purple, and I've seen it become blue, and now it's blue. So that's your choices there. This fascia is plastic also, which kind of like, I mean, this is metal, and I guess it's just easier to machine. This would be impossible. The knob has an okay feel. I do have a problem with it though, in that, like the problem I was having with this, if you put it on a table and it's like a little thing and you gotta like pick it up and you gotta manipulate it because it's not designed for like desk use. The problem is this is designed for desk use, and it's a bigger knob, but it's still like right there at the bottom. When I ran my FIIO E10K back in the Dizzy, I got some 3M dual lock tape, like Velcro, like crazy Velcro, like the Velcro they would use in the space shuttle. If something fell off, like, oh, that heat shield fell off. 3M dual locks fucking click, and the Velcro that pops. And I put a strip of it on top, actually front and back, and then I went under my desk like this, and I went pop, and that's where my FIIO stayed. And there was no risk of it falling off. In fact, I will link in the description of this video 3M dual lock, the thin stuff if I could find it, because the thin stuff actually doesn't like move around. But see that's fucking perfect, because look, my hand can come here and adjust the volume, and my headphones can be plugged in there. It's perfect. Putting this up on a desk breeds a little bit of problem because it's so light. It's the only reason it weighs anything is I have all these fucking wires plugged into the back of it. Oh, there goes my fiber optic. We're getting to the back of it. Hold on. Just some ergonomic problems. Like, it's super fucking light, it's super fucking low, and it's like, oh. I mean, if you shove this under your monitor or something, well, can I actually just like, oh, there you go. Yeah, you know what? That's kind of fine. I could see that being fine. It's fine. It's just fine. I think under the desk is cooler. But if you could clamp it down with a goddamn 29-inch vertical monitor, then you're good. So there you go. Where this gets interesting is the back. Define interesting. That says line out, right? It says line out. The old FIIO E10K was a line out, which meant you turned on this unit, just turned it on, and then the back had full line out to another amplifier. So over here I've got a pair of the 789s, the AAA monoprice ones, links in the description, and because they're that good. And I've got one of them plugged in with a 3.5mm RCA. And I plug it in here and I expect a line out. And that's not a line out. That is variable. That is a pre-out controllable by the front volume. That is always on with the headphone. And I find that a little weird because, and by the way, I'm using the balance plug. These are the Ursine audio cables. The ones that have the changeable, you could change the end connector or the splitter and you could have like 19 different combinations. Is it more than 19? It's like 5 and 6 I have currently, so it's a lot. But if I put that up, you hear Rage Against the Machine go there, and now I've got the cons here, and I'm doing. So they both go up and down at the same time, and that's sort of like the Origin G2 has a line output. No, it has a pre-out, my bad. And that's for if you have powered monitors, not these, specifically these powered monitors, but if you have powered monitors, take your pick. What do you want, the Mackie MR624s? You want the T5Vs? Whatever. you get a 3.5mm to XLR, and then you have a switch on the front that says, I want to listen to headphones, or I want to listen to the controllable pre-out. So the speakers and the volume control controls that. This is lacking that switch. So it means you're getting variable output in the back and the headphone out in the front all at the same time. Because I guess I couldn't fit any more fucking switches on it. It could have just been triggered by pulling it in and out. You pull out your headphone, then the back would come on. That would make a little bit more sense, but it doesn't do that either. It just doesn't. The only input into this unit, by the way, is USB. I've got a fiber optic that's out, and I got a coaxial digital that's out. I have the topping D10 behind me, which is a big old fucking DAC. And all its job is USB in, line out, and then fiber optic out and coaxial digital out. And this is doing that job. I haven't gotten to the quote-unquote best part, even though it doesn't really matter. So you plug in USB, and you have a switch above it. That's USB 1.0 or USB 2.0. I have my laptop down there, my Windows 10 laptop. I set it to 2.0, I plug it in. It installs instantly. Works perfectly fine. I set it to 32-bit 384. My head slightly explodes. Because that's way higher than you could ever possibly need. And that's for DSD compatibility. Now, when I plug it into this machine, this laptop here, this machine is Windows 7. So when you plug it in with the USB 2 set, it's like, drivers? And I'm like, nope. So I unplugged it. Because I shut it off, unplugged it, flipped that switch to 1, plugged it in and turned it on. It found the unit, it installed it. I'm limited to 24,192. Oh my god, fucking tragedy. Works fine. So it actually has a compatibility switch for the USB. Even though it's USB-C. And by the way, did you know FIIO is USB-C? It's USB-C. It's kind of a big deal. You know, it's no big deal, but it's kind of a big deal. So you get USB input, coaxial output, fiber optic output, the switch for the USB standard, and a line out that's actually a pre-out. That's a lot. I would trade the optical out for an in, or the coaxial out for another optical that was out or in. But what that means you can do, and I have it set up over here to do such a thing, is you can, and it won't pass surround sound. The original wouldn't do it, and I don't believe this will do it, because the actual, in Windows, this comes up as a stereo device. Since Windows is only sending it stereo, you can't pass surround sound out through the fiber optic. Won't work. But what this is doing is it's converting USB to fiber optic. And what you can do with fiber optic is you can get another DAC, this one being the Shelly Labs Enoch Pro, which is like $180 to $200 right now, which is a better DAC than what's in here. And you can hook that up to whatever you want, to a preamp to control powered monitors, to a power amp, to anything you like. These are the 789 Maze Balls mass drop amps. And right now, this unit is sending out both fiber optic and coaxial digital to this DAC. And if I hit the switch button to switch between the two, nothing happens because they're both getting signal at the same time. And then I can say, okay, where are my, $1,800 Ether C flows? Plugged in balanced to this amp. And I can just go. So it's not as much powering these headphones through this as it is just being a very, very nice digital to digital converter. So in the future, it's a wonderful stepping stone, because what you can do, if your computer doesn't have fiber optic and you don't have the money to start out with anything grander than this, for $110, get the FIIO K3, Velcro it under your desk because I asked you to. In the future, you're like, all right, I'm ready to move up in life. What do I want? An OLDAC? An LDAC? Maybe you just want a combo unit. Maybe you just... Actually, that has out as well. Doesn't have in. Wait, that has in and out fiber. Oh my god. I still love the Origin. I'm going to link the Fulla 2, the Origin G2, and this in the description of the video. There's going to be the 3 links. It's going to be my Patreon on top, because that supports this channel and buys this sort of shit. And then those 3 units, because those 3 units now are the big three. FIIO finally, I have not recommended the FIIO E10K in a long time because I didn't think it sounded very good. And when you put the bass boost on, it actually sounded better, but still worse. It was not happening. Then I praised this thing 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, however long it's been. And it took that long for them to make an entire different unit that I can praise again. Pick which one you think has the best features for you, because again, it has a pre-out, but it doesn't shut off. Like, that would be better if you were just doing headphones, powered monitors, you didn't care about balance, go. Because the only reason you really, if you don't need this balanced output in the front, unless you already have all the wires to run either your IEMs or your headphones balanced. This is not exactly a reason. It sounds better, more separation, a little more power than if I go the single-ended, regular 3.5 millimeter. But I think if you're spending $110 to get your baby's first balanced DAC amp, you probably shouldn't be looking at $300 in cables to modify all your current headphones to run balanced. I think you wait till the later years for that. Drop things. So back to the output. So you get the 2 digital outputs, 2 SPDIF outputs. You could run to 2 separate DACs if you wanted to. You can run one for a speaker amp with a thing, something from Emotiva. You could run the other one 100 million miles away because it's fiber optic, and run anything you like. Hell, even a bunch of the cheaper powered monitors for your desk are fiber optics. So you could just bounce it out USB to this, fiber optic out of this, into a set of Edifier 1280s or something. Vanuatu T1 Encores. I don't know when this date is, but those things are amazing. They fixed how this sounds. I actually enjoy listening to it. It's basically this. It's basically this. They went with the more modern USB because they needed the power. One of the benefits of like a portable amp like this, or even the X Duo over there, is that they have batteries built in. And guess what batteries can do? Discharge a whole lot more power than your little plug in the back can. So in an emergency, it's like, more power. I mean, it might kill the battery faster than it's charging it, but that would involve the sound happening repeatedly, endlessly, forever, and then you would end up draining the battery and it dying. So this still has to do all of its work off of USB, and I think it has to assume it's only getting about half an amp. Which is why if you put a gun to my head, I'd probably say, ooh, is the Q1 more powerful than this? And then I would actually plug something into it. Let's go back to these. I mean, these are like... Review of these coming, by the way. That's low gain at maximum. Low gain. They are so loud. Let's put it on high gain. You get a nice bump, maybe 6%. And then the only other issue I have with it, and I think it's good that they do it this way, is when you click it on, like I didn't know if this thing worked. I was like, no. I was trying to listen to the outside of the headphone. You just get sound at noon. So it's click off at 9. Oh, there it does make sound. And then loud by 3. And it goes past 6. So it's just so fucking loud. They do that for a reason. I was going to complain that, there's no sound at the low end. But you don't want to accidentally bring this volume. I've had times in my old E10K, and I remember it. It's one of the reasons I fucking despise it. Is where I would go to lower the volume, and I would go, click. Oh, shit. And then whatever game you're playing, fucking Arma decides that you no longer have a sound device. Congratulations. You're fucked now, buddy. And then you're fucked now, buddy. So the fact that this sort of keeps you away from there, you're never going to get that low because you're always like, that's low. Like, up there is low. You never have to bring it the other quarter turn to shut it off. That was M83 new map, by the way. There. Putting the bass boost on. I'm doing it. Oh, it's just a nice, warm... It doesn't distort the bass, but it definitely sounds like you're now... It's enough that it counts, but not too much that it distorts. I don't like when bass boosts are also like basically like, look, we didn't distort it, so nice. So this one actually is like, hey, bass, but doesn't distort. It's a wonderful piece. Absolutely worth $110. And it'll be in this month's yard sale. Well, it's January, It'll be in February's yard sale. From February 1st through February 10th, I sell things that I don't need. I'm probably keeping this because this is a little bit more useful in my scenario because it's battery powered. I use it as an amplifier strictly for like my sound demos. Plug in the line out, plug in the balance out. It just sits there running, no external source. This is strictly a USB DAC amp. The fact that you can still run everything out from it is amazing. And it's absolutely worth $110. Anyway, but it will be in the yard sale. So come February 1st, look for it in a video. I will link this. I will link the Patreon in the upper right in the description. There's also a $10 Patreon tier if you want to talk with other peers about things or ask me questions directly. That's the absolute best way to get an answer from me because I have Telegram on my phone and I use it all the time. You also get to see these reviews a couple days to even a couple weeks early. I link the wallpaper in the description. I link this in the description. I link almost all these headphones. I'm not sure if the cons have a place yet where you can like think about buying them. I think I'm just dicking with them currently. But yeah, thank you for stopping by. Please do those things that YouTube asks, but I never ask because it can't hurt, right? And since I do daily videos now, I will see you in another one tomorrow. Oh, and Ursine cables are also amazing. Anyway, thank you. Thank you, FIIO. Not to thank you, FIIO, for like sending me this. Thank you, FIIO, for like, thank you for fucking fighting.